You can hide, stop, just hide below. Yes, can you go down? Okay, so shall I start the session?
Yes, ma'am.
So here I will be telling you in very brief about the data sets. Just now, one of the participants told that whether I can get Telugu data sets, whether we can get finance data sets. So the thing is, uh, where we can get standard data sets and how do you read those data sets. I'll take some 3 case studies from different domain and we'll browse through that. This will help you when you are doing the assignments also. Okay, please next one, Upanika. Different data sets requires different data preparation. Yes, we were discussing informally about that preparation. It is basically cleaning the data sets. If you are having any missing values, then what should you do? Do you fill it with appropriate data or should you just leave it? Okay, what is all the data preparation about? For medical data sets, you cannot have some missing values because then the whole prediction becomes heavier. If you are doing with some not so critical data sets, then maybe you are okay with some few instances of missing data. So the depending on the data set, depending on your machine learning task for that domain, the data preparation will be different. It's not a hard and fast rule that this is has to be applied to all the data sets. Then coming to different modeling methods. Yesterday I told you there is a difference between algorithm and model. In machine learning, as a practitioner, you will always focus on models. Just now one of the ma'am asked, how does it learn? How does it learn? From training everything is done, then how does it learn? So it basically stores the value in the model. So once it stores the value in the model, you can save that model as a in the intermediate step. Here we are not showing you in the assignments because that would be overwhelming for the first time learners. So in the intermediate step, you can save your model. So what is model? With the data, your algorithm was run on that data and you got some coefficients. Now you have got a rough idea about coefficients, correct? Yesterday I showed you in the demonstration, if you are having a functional approximation to the data, you will have some coefficients. Once you have fitted your model to the data, you will get all those coefficients. So if you fit to model, automatically the coefficients also come as a packet. Now think I'm just telling you logic what goes behind, not the code part. So once you have saved the model, it has come with all coefficients. Now you want to test that same model with another diabetes data set which has come from another country. Okay, so does it fit? Does it fit? That particular, does this model of diabetes prediction fit another diabetes data set which has come from another country? Let us see. So what you will do, you do not train again the data set with the your new the second country. Whereas you use this whole model and give that second country's data and see the prediction. If it works fine, that means what? Irrespective of the countries, the more or less the diabetes is related to some age factor or some XYZ metal factor, irrespective of the country. So now this usage of a model with already the coefficients is also called transfer learning. So that means it has already learned the model. It is transferring its knowledge to be applied to another data set. Okay, so how did you model? There will be many algorithms. Say classification algorithm itself can be some 10 types. So which one I have to use? Again, one of the participant rightly pointed out that is it a trial and error? Yes, it's still an enigma why this works, why that works. It's all the intricacy of the data set which make it work. But still, the research is going on and they have found that some of the state of art algorithms work well with such type of data set. You can find it in the literature survey also. But still, when your data comes, a real-time data comes, then you have to do some trial and error, and then
Hello. Hello, Tilotama madam. Please unmute yourself. Mitul Kannan, Ramraj sir.
who somehow it becomes mute. How it is possible?
Yes,
Someone
yes.
muting it.
Yes, yes. Mitul Kannan Raj is muting you. Voice is not
Uh,
clear, madam.
Now it's clear.
Again, it is breaking when you speak continuously.
Okay. Hello, hello. Google Meet, but mute the speaker. Oh, okay, is it done? Okay, it's full learning. Now is it clear?
No, madam. No. Lot of noise.
All the people are having some classes and all are in net actually. Maybe some network bandwidth problem. Now, hello.
Now it is okay.
You go to next one. Okay, so we will talk about the UCI, the machine learning repository, which is having database and domain theories from many from this. Next one you go. So this is how it looks like. You can go. Is it possible to move audio on cell phone? I know, but how you will hear? And you have to integrate. So, okay, this is the structured approach of the data sets where you will be talking about the tasks, whether ML tasks, machine learning tasks, classification, regression, clustering, recommender systems. Then the attributes are there, whether it is categorical, numerical, or mixed. So that means some features are categorical, some are numerical, and sometimes it is mixed. Both are there. Okay, then data type are there. where it is sequential time series. Like if you have got earthquake data sets, then it may be time series, multiple variables. So like this, their data type also will be mentioned. Acha, it's too low. Okay. Low. Okay. Domain you will life sciences attributes you can be attributes and
Madam, you connect
instances.
your phone otherwise.
Okay.
You use phone for audio.
Okay. How to do how to okay just okay how to connect that.
Madam. Just you log in through your mobile. Or else there is another option here, use a phone for audio. It's better you log in through your mobile.
There will be interference, no? Then
Hmm?
there will be interference.
Once you try like that, now. Anyways, Uponika madam is presenting, no? You can speak through your microphone, headphones.
Okay. Understood. Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank God. So sorry for it. Okay, so these are the structured approach for data sets. What we will see in a data set is
No,
uh,
no.
the
Again, there is voice is breaking. When you are speaking continuously, your voice is breaking, madam.
but I have moved almost every corner of my house. I don't know where the signal problem is there. Hello.
It is a network issue, madam. That's it.
Yeah, it is network issue actually. Then okay, Punika, you continue. You, uh, uh,
Uh, Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, Tilaka ma'am, it says like you're not able to get network or something.
Yes, ma'am. Madam is asking me to present.
Okay, fine. So yeah, so ma'am was like talking about the different tasks that we involve in machine learning, and like just a few times back I was talking about classification, and for each and every time uh, you can listen and hear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So each and every time I was talking about the outcome has to be 0 or 1. It has to be a discrete categorization was there, whether it has to be 0 or 1. So regression was something another task where you can get a like regression continuous variable, like suppose for 50 days weather report if you have collected, so according to the report you can train your machine so that the machine will test and predict whether the tomorrow on basis of the different parameters of temperature and humidity and other all the factors, will it be a sunny day or a rainy day. So this is the basic concept behind the regression, where we, based on something that we have already learned, we check what is the next value that we are going to get. It has nothing to do with 0 or 1. I mean, nothing to do have such a categorization. It is a continuous process. And similarly for the clustering, as I was giving one of the example as dog and cat or dog breeds. So clustering is something like when you group something, like you have ma'am, I can remember ma'am was just giving an example yesterday of the smileys. So whatever the sad smileys and the laughing smileys, they were all different. So, like the sad smileys can be together clustered together into one particular group, whereas the another laughing smileys together in one particular cluster. So these are like groups. How to make the groups based on the feature identification. And then one is a recommender system. This is very popularly used in many of the e-commercial sites. Whether you go for a movie or you go for any sports website or any website, you will be just getting recommending system. And even in the Google, if you write a little bit of word, you will get to see they are asking you they are asking you whether you want this data or another data. So they are recommending you on basis of the what the maximum majority of the number of people search on a particular thing. So that is a recommender system. So and yeah, attributes are can be different. Like it can be categorical, it can be numerical, and numerical is as what we were telling about the regression, and it can be mixed also. Like what is the different? Like it can be categorical as well as numerical. So, and we have gone through various data types, whether it is multivariate, univariate, sequential. That we will come around like different kinds of data set, that time series. So these are the types of data that we generally that we generally consider when we have some data set with us. So, and it is just not that it's only you have to be a computer programmer to work on machine learning. You can be from any different domain, like whether it is medical, science, engineering, game, business, and many other sports, any kind of domain to work on data set. So the data set may belong from, just previously I was showing a diabetes data set, that was a medical domain, right? So we have another two more data set that I have uploaded over there. One is petrol consumption. So that depends on a business data set, and another is a spam filter, like what are the emails are classified as a spam or not a spam. So that is a like an email system. So these are the different domains that you can go through. You domains can be anything, just anything. So yeah, and attributes are something just like what are the different features that we require to make an prediction, whether it is like 10 or less than 10, or within the limit of 10 to 100, or more than, or some big kind of data set will also contain some greater attributes like 100, and instances like how many number of records do we have, that is the number of rows. So how many number of records do we have? So these are all comes under the instances. So these are the different we have a different approach to the structure of data set. We can structure our data set in a different way. So yeah, as I was telling, this classification is a supervised machine learning algorithm. So in which, in this concept, we always identify the data set. We recognize it in a category basis, whether it is this or that. So there is always an or phrase comes in between. And similarly, clustering, it's also like an unsupervised. Okay, so clustering comes under the unsupervised because when you are given with lot of say suppose you are given with a bag of vegetables. Okay, so how do you classify that this, I mean, how do you make a group of onions together, how do you make a group of potatoes together? Depending on the appearance there, right? So onions will be of a different appearance, potatoes will be of a different appearance. So these are the different our regular day-to-day basis job that we human brain does. The similar thing that the machine also does. They makes a group of different on basis of different attributes of the data. They classify whether it is potato, whether it is an onion, whether it is or any kind of vegetable. So this is there we do not give a particular set of data to learn to the machine that look, this has to be this has to be the features, then only this is an onion. So it just make a group. So whatever the look same kind of thing, it makes themselves a kind of group. So all the group of homogeneous attributes, mention understand this word, homogeneous attributes, that means of the similar appearances, comes together to group together to make a cluster. So we have made different number of cluster to identify what a particular group is representing. I already discussed about this regression. It's a statistical measure which can be used in different domains, finance or in any kind of domains where we'll have a relationship between the dependent and the independent variable, and we can see how the variation of the independent variable is making an impact on the dependent variable. What I mean to say by this is, here our independent variable is x, that means our input, and our dependent variable is y, that is our output. So how the variation of x is impacting on y will make it to predict for the next prediction, for the next levels of prediction. So these were the common terminologies we went through. So here we can see few case study. In the finance, there is a data set that we have collected from the Swedish auto insurance, and the objective was to predict the total payment for all the claims in thousands of Swedish kroner given the total number of claims. So on basis of the total number of claim, how we have to predict what may be the total payment for all the claims. So objective is not the point of our focus. The point of our focus is how to understand the data, how to identify the main focus of our data. First, you have to understand the objective, the purpose of the data set, what the data set is all about. Because if you do not understand the purpose of it, you will fail to make the proper prediction on it. Suppose for some, if there is a data set and of the here I'm telling you the purpose of the data set is to filter between a spam and non-spam emails. But I'm giving you a data set containing all the different factors and features, and you are not knowing about the purpose of the data set. So what will you do with that data set? You have a lot of number of things to do, but what will give you the correct and the perfect way of predicting what is actually needed? So for that, you have to understand the purpose. You have to know what is the objective of the data set, why is that, and what all the features related to that purpose, and is that any really required that the features has to be present. So this is the objective means. Then you have to understand what task can be done for this data set. For this data set, we can do a regression problem. Why? Because there is a total number of claims that is has given, and see, you can see here predicting the total payment. It is not asking you to classify between the different types of claims. It is rather asking you to predict the total number of claims. That means it is a continuous variable, total payment. This is your keyword. You have to focus on over here. So it is you have to predict the total payment for all the claims. Okay. Now you will get clear about your problem statement and the task that has to be attached with it. Okay. Now the data type. Data type is you know what is, you have one input variable, one output variable. Fine. Attribute type, you have numerical values, all the values are numerical. And how many instances are there? There are 63 records, that means 63 rows of it. And what are the variables? Input and output, number of claims, total payment. So this is only a data set which has only two columns. One is an input, another is an output. So the input is number of claims, the output is total number of payment. And the sample data it is showing here is 108,392.5. That means 108 is my number of claims, out of which the total payment is 392.5. Similarly, there are other sets. There are total different 63 instances are there. Here they have given five example. So the baseline performance of predicting the mean value. That means once your model is in your hand and you are predicting it, what you have to do, you have to do some performance metrics. As I was telling that in the classification model we were working on accuracy rate. So similarly, if for regression we have different other performance metrics like RMSE. What is RMSE? It is a mean square, right? So mean square error, in which we will find out what is the error, how much is the error between the predicted value and the actual tested value. So they are telling the means for RMSE is approximately 72.251. So this is a type of data set that you will get. Whenever you will get a data set, you have to do this kind of homeworks. You have to understand the purpose, you have to understand the task associated with it, the data types, attribute type, instances, number of instances, and most importantly, what are the inputs and what is the output, and what kind of performance you can do that one. So once you are understanding this kind of structure of a data set, you are all set to go for any kind of algorithm. So this is case study 2. So this is a British data set. I guess we have talked about this data set already. This is a wine quality data set. So wine quality, yeah. In wine quality, see, you can see the task is a multi-class classification data problem. If you remember for the last diabetes, we have done only categorizes whether the patient is diabetic or not. So it was a binary classification. That is a classification between only two expected outcome. But here it is a multi-class. Okay, so your class can be between the score can be between 0 to 10. That means there are 10 different uh, types of wine that they have that can be expected. Okay, so this is the flow that even in the next part of the day you will have to work on a data set. I have uploaded there in the assignment 2, where you are given with two different data sets. One is a classification, one is a regression. So it's out of your choice which one to take. Make sure it is any one of the two data sets. Okay, any one. For now, just take any one of the sample. Later on, for your understanding, you can always do the other one. So just grab any one of the data set, understand the data set, follow this procedures, follow these procedures. What is the object? What is the task? Data type, attribute type. Understand these things. Once you are done, take a tool for us for this. For this workshop, we are always following the Python programming with scikit-learn language, and at the same time, your assignment end-to-end project that I have uploaded as a classification example for the diabetes data set will help you for as a reference to guide you through how to work with the scikit-learn libraries and to do the data modeling and how to perform the task. And then once you are done, you can evaluate your model, how good it is performing through your accuracy rate, if it is a classification problem, and RMSE if it is a regression problem. So and you understand your result. You can always make some comparison between two different algorithms. Like for classification, you can take two algorithm, logistic regression and decision tree, and then you compare each of the result, telling that okay, this one is giving a better accuracy. So you can always report your result. So that was all for how to handle data sets.
Yeah, good. What is the way to open the other one? The other one, yes.
Uh, I didn't get you, ma'am.
The second
I guess
Type it in the chat box, madam. Tilotama madam. Madam is asking to open or some other thing.
another, the second one. Yeah, this one. Yes. The second one. Agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Agenda. Yes. So these are the algorithms we have discussed. Everything we are supposed to discuss. So you can just tell them what are all the algorithms available so that they can take for when they are doing
I couldn't follow what you said, ma'am. There is some noise. I get some. Is everyone's mic is off?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam is asking to say the gist of the algorithms where they are being used, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow.
How to select. Is that correct, Tilotama madam?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is audible, ma'am. Your voice is perfect.
Acha, acha. Yeah, I was telling that we can just show them the algorithms which are falling into these categories so that when they do the assignment, it will be very clear to them. They can refer to that.
Now your voice is good, madam.
Okay, then you present. I will just try my level best.
Okay. So yeah. So in the classification algorithms, you can get these three algorithms you can use: logistic regression,
Uponika
naive-based.
madam.
Yes.
Uponika madam. You just present. Tilotama madam will explain. Madam is saying that.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Yes, this classification algorithms, first of all, Uponika, I think you show the table where we have made the scikit-learn library. In that same presentation, there is one table which where the scikit-learn in the same one. Yes, this one. So, friends, you can see this scikit-learn libraries are there, and the classification and regression we have in this table. We are showing you the various classes which are there in the packages for regression and the classification. So everywhere you will see you have to import from sklearn. That is common everywhere. After sklearn, what model you have used for classification? Say linear model you have used for logistic regression. So then you import the class from that package logistic regression. Okay. Though the name is regression, please do not get confused. Logistic regression is used for classification, where we use the sigmoid function, not going into that part details. So logistic regression is for the classification. Now come to the regression. Similarly, from sklearn.linear model, import linear regression. So if you have chosen any one of the data sets, whether it is a spam mail or the other one is petrol consumption, just check which task you want to do, whether you want to do classification or regression. Then choose any two algorithms from this list. This PPT is there in the classroom. In naive Bayes, then you will say naive Bayes is there in both of them. Yes, there are algorithms where you can use it for regression as well as the classification. A slight change is there. That change is captured in the class name. For naive Bayes, it is both of them are the Gaussian NB. Whereas in KNN, that is K nearest neighbor, you will see it is K neighbors classifier, K neighbors regressor. In decision tree, you have, if you come across a literature, CART, CART, so that is also called classification and regression trees. So these are nothing but decision trees which are used for classification. So that is decision tree classifier, the class name, and decision tree regressor, that is the regression for class for regression. Then support vector machine. So support vector machine also, for classification you have to import SVC, and a slight change if you make SVR import, that is for the regression. Next, coming to the clustering. I think we didn't give assignment for the clustering. Next, please. Yes, for clustering, you have we have listed out for k-means clustering, mini batch k-means clustering, agglomerative clustering, and the affinity propagation. So these are the classes which you have to use. Yes, in this 2 days, getting insight about all the algorithms is very overwhelming, and it's more of a knowledge dispatch, but how much we can learn is a questionable thing. So here we have just given you a glimpse of how to start off with the basic project, and then maybe in series of lectures we can go ahead with one by one classification and see it. Okay, now you can go to the classification, dear, at the top. Yes, next. Yes, next. So this logistic regression, you remember I told, though the name is regression, it is used for classification. So this is how, if you have given a data, it is a binary classification where you have this cross and the boxes. So this is the equation where uh, by this time, I think you all of have understood somewhat the overfit and underfit. So the left hand side is underfit and the right hand side is the overfit. So it is trying to take care about fitting each and every data point, that is overfit. Okay. So this is the logistic regression where it is used for classification. Next. And these are some pros and cons we have here mentioned. What are the advantages, disadvantages? Kindly go through that. It is a small notes, short notes. Then coming to this linear regression, see here the linear regression. This is used for the regression. Okay, so the data points are the dots, and the line has tried to fit in. So now the dots which lie on the line are predicted properly. So that means the error is less. Now, if whatever the vertical lines are there, those are error for each of those data points. So if you sum up them, you will get the error, the residuals, the whatever in the model has not fitted in, that error you will get. So this is the linear regression. Next. Above, please. Yes, naive bayes, I told you, when we are, though we are intelligent, but sometimes we have some uncertainty problem, uncertainty issues. So that time what you will do, so this we will be using the probabilistic or the stochastic approach. So here it is the naive, the bayes rule. The bayes rule will be used where, given some prior probability, then you will be actually calculating the posterior probability. So here, in if you use this particular naive bayes algorithm, you go down. I will show you the pictorial one. Yes, in this pictorial one, just see the naive bayes. So here, the above one, the question mark. The question mark is the test data. Okay. And the green color and the yellow color are the two classifications. And you have properly classified, you have seen it. But now the uncertainty, if it is there, means which one is the question mark, whether it is yellow or green. So here, if you see the example in details, previous to the putting the circle, you could have the prior probability that how many yellow and greens are there, what location they are in, and coming to the circle, you just put a particular circle size and try to see the posterior probability and give the class which is having the highest weight. So the problem has been solved in this particular example. So this is with the when you are tackling with the uncertainty part. Can you please go to the next one? This is the decision tree. So in the decision tree, it is a graph based algorithm where the if then else, if you convert them into programming part, it will be actually rule based if then else, which are nested. If this, and again there will be a nested if then, like that you will find this decision tree. So in the decision tree, how it is used as a classification and how it is used as regression, it is very simple. Check the leaves of a tree. The leaves will be at the bottommost. If those bottommost values are categorical, then it is classifier. If they are certain, they are numbers, they are numerical value, then that is regression. So that's why the CART, that is classification and regression trees mod algorithm, can be used for both classification and regression. Go to the next, please. Is used in, okay, so this is what we have mentioned here. Then go to the next one, k nearest neighbor. This is the k nearest neighbor. That is another simple algorithm where you can use it. Here the thing is how many points you will take to take the decision. Say for example, in this yellow question mark, if the circle is increased, then you are considering many data points to take a decision. If your circle is small, then you are just making a local decision. So how the decision is made, how much local points you are taking or the global points you are taking. So the k nearest neighbor again can be used for the classification as well as the regression. Next. So this is what the SVM is there. So see, this is the plane which is a supervised. So all of these we are talking about supervised. Why? Because you already have some data points. On that data points basis, you are actually using a plane here. Will be actually, there will be an n-dimensional space. Okay, that depending on the number of the features, and then we see whether in that particular plane the data points are lying or not. So this is called the support vector machine. Okay, next, clustering. In the clustering, that is as I told you, it is unsupervised. Remember, this is unsupervised, and in unsupervised, the clustering, K means clustering is one of the very common one. So K means clustering is a very common one, where, but do not get confused with KNN. There is K there also, K nearest neighbor, and then there is a K means clustering. So K means clustering is unsupervised, K nearest neighbor is supervised. So though there are K words, not to get confused about that. So here you can use the clustering technique, and in the clustering also there are hierarchical clustering, K means clustering. So it is basically many types of algorithms are there. Can you go next, please? Yes. How good is the model? Tell me.
Ma'am, can you repeat SVM once?
Hello. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
See in this. See here, it is basically, in this diagram there are so many data points. Okay, it is in n-dimensional space. You have to find a hyperplane. The hyperplane, why we are saying, because it is n-dimensional space. Here it is only one line which will be differentiating the two classes. So what it will do is, which is the nearest in this hyperplane, which is the nearest point of both the classes. Just see there. This is the separating hyperplane, the black color one. So this the blue one. The blue one is the your the okay. So here you have found the separating plane for the red and then separating plane for the blue, and in the center you have found out the hyperplane. So this hyperplane, how did you get? You had got two support vectors. One support vector is the one which is at the blue side, and another support vector at the red side. So they are supporting your decision. They are making your decision more robust by supporting two vectors from each of the class. See, if you have a data point, then if you see left hand side to the red point, there are only 2 points, and right hand side to the support vector plane to the red one, and most of the data are lying there. Similarly, the support vector for the blue class B, all of the data is at the left hand side. So if we are able to find a appropriate support vector for both the classes, then at the middle one, the separating hyperplane will be able to classify both the classes. So this is also a supervised, because until unless you have the data points, you cannot get the support vectors. So now you will say, how, what about, this is a line. Why you are saying about plane? So if it is a 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, then at each of these n-dimensional space, we will have some lines, and then we have to find out a plane which will separate this n-dimensional points. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then next, where were we? Okay, how good is the model? Something like that was there. Uh, no, how good is the model? Okay, how good is the model? So you will be doing your assignment. Okay, classification. We have given you some 3 algorithm names. If you say dot, it will automatically come in the code. So you choose any one of them. So as Uponika in the last class told, how good is the model? You will be going through the performance measure. So in the performance measure, the measures are different for the classification, and measures are different for the regression. Measures are different for the clustering. So if you see the list of it, the list of the classification model is being given here. Confusion matrix. Precision recall is also used for your as in image retrieval systems. It is used. Accuracy. So presently we are just going through the accuracy. You calculate the accuracy for the classification one if you have taken that project. Go to the down. No, for regression, we have used as, I think, root mean squared error, RMSE. Even if you want to do any other things, you can do it. If you just do a performance dot, if you find out, their list of methods will come. You can just go. But the thing is, we have to understand what are these measures and how the values are there. Sometimes these values, measures are lying between 0 and 1. Sometimes it is lying between -1 and 1. Sometimes it lies between minus infinity to infinity. If we do not know the range of those measures, obviously then we won't be able to interpret. Here, adjusted R square and R square are very important for the regression. See, if you have 10 points and a line, you could fit all the 10 points in the line, then you will say 100% my R square has 100% being able to do justify to all the data points. If only I am having 1 point on the line and all other are very far, then maybe the fitting the model, my data fitting for this, my model is only 10%. So if you see these R square values also, you will be able to understand how much percentage your model understands your data. So that's what is the is some of these measures. Can you go down? Anything else? Okay, this we already discussed in the scikit-learn. Go conclusion. So yeah, I think we have already we are done with the presentation part. I think you can go ahead and do your assignment now. And please, if you have any problem, you how to open the CSV, some 2 3 participants have asked again. So I think that is very important. Upanika, can you please show them one spam CSV, how to open it with the Google sheet, then download it and then upload it. If you are stuck at the CSV level, then you cannot do the machine learning part.
Okay, I'll show how to download the CSV and then how to upload it. So as you can see here, when I am in the classroom, there is a CSV file. I just did a right click and this one open, this tab open. So I just need to download this file. But I already have the download option. I already have downloaded this one. So all you need to download this. It will be downloaded. See, it has become get downloaded, and then you go to this classroom again, go to the Python file, open it with Colab. So once you are opening with the Colab, there is one file button at the left side. So just click over there. Wait for a few seconds. You will be able to see the files, the repository file.
Yes, you have to wait for some time. I have seen that. Then
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
little.
Few seconds need to be waited. See, it has come, right? So I have previously uploaded here, so that's why it is here, but still I'll show you how to upload this file. So just go to upload button.
It's an arrow key. Up arrow key is the
Yeah.
upload button.
So I have this diabetes. I'm not taking diabetes 1 because here in my file system I have mentioned diabetes. So okay. So you can see that diabetes is reflecting in the left side, right? So this is how you import it and then you start
Another
working
thing is
with your
there.
Python
Uh,
file.
yes, another thing is there. You have to, in your IPython notebook, you have to always execute in sequence. You cannot just directly go to classification algorithm and run the cell. Then the variables won't have been initialized. It will give error. So please start off from the cell one and run the program.
So with this, I guess it's quite understood like how to do the assignment two. Where one more thing, in the assignment two, we have also mentioned one instruction guide. So along with the data sets, we have yeah, this is an assignment to instruction guide. So it's clearly mentioning that there are two data set given to you, spam based CSB and petrol consumption, and you have to take any one of the two data set and solve it either for classification or regression. So step by step I have mentioned how you have to download the data set, then open in the Google Colab, import the data set, and then go by this flow And also, for your reference, you can always refer to the end-to-end project project file, that is the diabetes work that I have shown you as a demonstration. And yeah, any further queries, keep on posting on the classroom. We will always be there to help you guys.
Yes, please post it on the classwork. Now, if you have any questions, rather we're not taking your lunch time, post it in the classwork. We'll be replying one to one for each and every question, whether it is theoretical or whether it is practical. So, thank you, everyone.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Okay,
we
ma'am.
will,
Thank you, Tilottama
yeah.
madam, and thank you,
Yeah, yeah,
Uponika madam,
thank you.
for your
What time
wonderful
can we
presentations.
back then? Let please finish. Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Please finish your assignment today itself so that you can get the certificates also. Everything will be done because after that the classroom will be a problem. So you just finish all your assignments. Only one project you have to do following the demonstration. Okay. So we'll be back at 4 o'clock. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I have posted attendance form here. I'll just give me 2 minutes. I'll give you the link for feedback also. I'll post it in the chat box. Wait for another 5 minutes. Participants, dear participants, please fill that attendance form and feedback form by 2:30. I'll stop taking the responses after that. Your feedback and your attendance is compulsory. Attendance form, it is already there in the chat box. Once again, I'll post it. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll give you the feedback link also. I'll post the two things in WhatsApp group also. So this is your feedback link and attendance link. I have posted. Please give your feedback and attendance by 2:30. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Tilottama ma'am. Thank you, Uponika ma'am. All
This
the
link only
participants.
join.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll join with this link only
Yes, ma'am. With the
at
same
four
link at
o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Oh,
Thank you, ma'am.
okay. Bye.
Madam, assignments will you have to meet, the participants have to join. They can join by 2 o'clock. They can submit their assignments from 2 o'clock. Okay, thank you all. I hope you have got attendance form and feedback form. You can submit your assignments. You can log in to Google Classroom from 2 and submit your assignments by 4. Complete all your assignments. 100% attendance and your assignment completion. Assignment completion is very important to get the certificate. So please complete your assignments and quizzes. Thank you all. And please join the session at 4 o'clock with the same meeting ID. Thank you.